Bulletcast for life.
Get up! This is a revolution! This is our time to rise! Look deep within your mind, look deep into the hate in my eyes. We are the elite, and you are the weak. No matter how hard I fall, I'll get back up on my feet. Red alert, this is gonna hurt.
Yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is I, the microphone Messiah, Phillip Brandon, joined by the Canadian Destroyer, BT Brandon Tanguma. Here we are. Episode 491. We're close to 500. Excited. Got to do something big. We've got to see what we can do for that. BT Brandon Tanguma, what's cracking?
Hey, yellow, everyone. We're back after a huge weekend of wrestling. A lot of events locally, abroad, around the world. We're here to talk about it all.
There was a lot, man. The NXT Great American Bash happened. Shout out to Kendall Gray, the new NXT Women's Champion. What else happened? Tony D defeated the former Evil to retain the NXT Championship. A lot of Shaquan Sugars did some things. A lot of good stuff going on at NXT, man.
Yeah, I mean, they went head to head with AW Forbidden Door. Ratings came back. I think they did like 394. So, I mean, I don't know what they were expecting in terms of like what the number for good or bad was, but we're getting another show at NXT Heatwave, I believe, or they're doing another show, and they're going to be going head to head with Wembley. So we'll see exactly how that goes.
Still on Peacock, right?
No, the NXT shows now are on the CW proper, so you can watch it on your television.
Oh, the pay-per-views?
Whatever cable provider you have, or even locally.
The pay-per-views are on free TV now?
Yep, you buy a little Amazon antenna, you can watch that stuff for free.
Okay. I'll see. I know the whole SmackDown library is still on Peacock. Forbidden Door happened, man. Are we getting a recap from you, or what's going on?
I mean, so I did go to Forbidden Door. A long story. My seats were changed for reasons unbecoming of myself, and the show.
TKO would never do that. Right?
TKO would make sure that every single seat in the building, all 19,000, were working properly. And so I got moved down to the floor. And as you guys know, if you are in the floor, they're great seats if you're within the first 5 rows. But if you're not, and you're a short person like myself, you can't see anything.
I don't know. I mean, Revolution that year was at the Chase. I was on the floor on the aisle for that, like kind of in the like on the side where like they go to the back and stuff. I have that's a great seat. Maybe it's just the difference in buildings and whatnot, but. I'm sorry that happened to you, man.
I know, it's okay. But we're not going to do a full Forbidden Door show. I mean, TLDRs, it was a lot of great wrestling, maybe too much great wrestling. I mean, even on the West Coast, the show ended at like 10 o'clock local.
Yeah.
So that's really late. I mean, we're not used to those. I mean, I remember when I went to the show in Chicago, and the show ended at like 11 midnight, and I've never experienced a show that late before, because usually everything's over by like 8 or 9, if that. So, but yeah, all the matches pretty much sufficed. We'll get a little bit more in depth maybe on the play-by-play when we get to the Dynamite recap later.
The circular cage.
Yeah, I mean, got there before the show started, saw the circular cage. I said it was probably going to be a Hell in a Cell type, but they're doing the circular cage. They're calling it Death's Door. Apparently they're doing a trademark for that, so that's probably going to be kind of the new, not Blood and Guts, because obviously Blood and Guts is like their war game style, but if they're going to do
and me inside Death's Door.
Yeah, if they do some sort of like multi-man team cage match, it seems like that's what they're going to... That is their Hell in a Cell, we'll say. Death's Door is their Hell in a Cell.
All right. Well, we have to talk about something that happened this weekend. Massive Night of Champions happened in Saudi Arabia. We're not going to do a whole Night of Champions recap. We're going to hit the 3 major things. Man, you know, we lived in a time where we never thought, Daniel Bryan get that moment, that big win? He got it. You know, Cody got his, Kofi got his, Jey Uso got his. Ladies and gentlemen, Sami Zayn is the WWE champion. I was just happy for the guy, man. You know, when you follow these guys' careers for as long as, you know, we have and we watch wrestling, I mean, all the El Generico stuff coming in, the underground from the Underdog in NXT, the big NXT title win, the coming on the main roster, debuting, tearing his shoulder in the entrance, but having that crazy match with Cena for the U.S. title to keep it going, and then all the stuff, the ups and downs, the stuff with Johnny Knoxville, where she actually got a pretty good, entertaining match out of him, and then obviously the stuff he did with the Bloodline, man. To see this guy finally win the WWE Championship. Now, I just assumed like it was going to happen in Saudi next year for Mania, but hey, man, I think we all had like Cody walking out with the championship to see what this Jey Uso thing was going to happen, or there's a plot twist with Gunther. But man, yeah, nobody really had Sammy going up like that, but he did it, man. Congratulations to Sami Zayn, finally winning the WWE Championship, man. One of the best in the world for a very long time can finally call himself world champion.
Yeah, I mean, check the tape. Last week I told you if Obafemi wins, the percentage of Sami Zayn winning that championship does drastically go up, and that's what happened. When I first saw it that they pulled the trigger on that, I was like, oh, shocking, but I think it makes sense if once Night of Champions happens in my mind, I'm like, okay, they're gonna go with Brock, or sorry, they're gonna go with Oba and Roman. So for the side with Cody, change it up a little bit, have Cody chase Sammy. Sammy can have a an entertaining heel run, whether it's him, you know, gloating or whatever the style of heel he will be, because I assume he's going to still stay heel. But
I mean,
I've come around to I think this is probably a good decision to
if you
put the title on Sammy.
if yeah, I mean, let's let it play out. But if you've seen Sammy's social media, he's driving around with the championship. He wished Cody Rhodes a happy birthday. No, just I think Sammy's just gonna kind of be him, and we've heard the stories of those. Like he has those little qualities that are like annoying or whatever, but I think just bring all that to television or whatever, man. Like I've never met the guy, so I can't speak on him personally, but if that is the case, bring all that stuff to TV, man. It just yeah, man. I'm just looking back at it, man. Like eh, if he wasn't in the bloodline, does he become WWE champion?
I mean, Sammy was considered like probably one of, if not the best babyface wrestlers, whatever little aspect you want to call him, because he's so talented. Going back
Immensely,
15, 20 years.
one of the best ever.
People might say he's El Generico. I still haven't seen definitive proof of that, but he's just so talented. And yes, the Johnny Knoxville stuff was entertaining and stuff, but he was floundering a little bit. He maybe kind of was put in that spot of he'll be just an entertaining, mid card heel or babyface, whatever they want him to be. But
I
once
mean,
he
like
was,
the conspiracy stuff, I found that entertaining.
yeah, and then once they put him in the bloodline, that kind of like revved him up again, and to take him seriously. People talked themselves into maybe having him win against Roman, but obviously Cody was always the end goal, and it still
Yeah, no,
played out well for them.
people remember 3 years ago, like when it was in the back of our minds, like, but what if? But what if on the road to WrestleMania 39, the underdog from the underground does the unthinkable and dethrones Roman Reigns? Like, what if? That was a big what if. Yeah, man. I look at it, and I mean things like this keep proving why the bloodline was so important and impactful. Look at everybody that come out of it. Roman Reigns solidified his spot. Jey Uso. I mean, the Usos, they go on to main event WrestleMania with Sami Zayn. And then Jey Uso goes on to become world champion. Now, Sami Zayn's finally WWE champion. Solo, his personality today, which people love and make all the memes online, derived from, his time in the bloodline and the evolution of that character. And um, yeah, man. I mean, it gave Paul Heyman yet another reason why he should just go in the Hall of Fame. It's just a lot of good stuff came from the bloodline, man. But nonetheless, man, Sami Zayn, congratulations, brother. You're the top guy. You're the top dog in the world, man. Enjoy it. Can't wait to see the fallout and what happens with this as we continue on. Oba Femi is the 2026 King of the Ring. He told Jey Uso, if you if you don't miss your warning shot, and unfortunately he did. Big Oba Femi. We're going to talk about what happened with that as we get into Monday Night Raw. Io Sky, the genius of the sky, is the 2026 Queen of the Ring. She defeated Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan still doesn't believe her curses are real.
Yeah, as dumb as it may seem, Danhausen coming out and cursing Liv Morgan, I thought was a really bad idea, just because they're at the point where Danhausen's still on the ascent, and they're pushing him to where they're trying to get this curse thing over. So once he cursed Liv
Dude,
Morgan, it kind of was like, all right, she's definitely gonna lose now.
the Knicks won the championship. The curse is real. You know what I'm saying? The curse has been proven as real.
I mean, just like wrestling, it's all real to me.
All right.
But I
Do
mean, the
you
match
know?
itself was I thought
Sidebar.
was pretty good.
Sidebar. I'm sorry. You know, it's been 20 years last week since it's still real to me. Damn it.
I can't believe. I mean, I don't know when I first or when that first video was discovered, but I feel like 20 years is a little crazy
Yeah,
because
it feels like it was like filmed in the 90s, right?
I mean, I maybe it's just because it's like the internet really popped off like 15 years ago, so I feel like it's more like 15 years ago, and I think maybe I first saw it like on Tosh.0. It's probably one of those things of like it's a video that just someone uploaded on the internet once the internet started popping off, and just because it was older, that's just when it happened.
Yeah, I don't know brother's name, who was famous for the clip, but he's doing conventions now. It's crazy.
Hey, good for him, brother. Make a
Hey,
little cash.
yes, but shout out to Io Sky.
Yeah, and then she just immediately challenges Liv again for the title.
Yeah,
It doesn't seem very inspiring to do that, but that's just kind of like the women's division thing in general right now, especially on Raw.
I wouldn't you just I mean so hold on. I mean the thing I thought King and Queen of the Ring, you just get a title match with the person on your brand, with the champion on your brand. Now they're doing the choosing things, and then what's the point of the Royal Rumble?
Well, that was for WrestleMania. This one's for SummerSlam.
Sure, but still, I mean, if we can just stick to like, hey, I'm on Raw, Roman, you're the champion. You know what we're about to do, but I mean, we'll get there. Uh, I guess she went after Liv because we don't know what's. I mean, I understand. Like, I just beat you right now. I'm just gonna beat you again. But like, I wouldn't. Why don't you go after Rhea? I've always beaten you. We've had all these matches together, and I always win. So I'm just gonna do it again and take the WWE title from you. But I guess we don't know what's going on with Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, and it was a pretty clean win too from Io. Like there was no shenanigans, nothing. She just kind of
No
beat her.
Judgment Day, right?
Yeah, no Judgment Day. So it's like she just come out. We're just gonna go out and they're gonna. I mean, we saw what they did on Raw. There's gonna be attacks, and maybe she tries to even the sky. Maybe Stephanie Fakir comes back, but I mean, it's a match to fill out the card, but I just don't feel like it's gonna have a lot of heat or a lot of interest behind it once it happens. And people like Io and people like to boo Liv, so like I think in the moment it'll be like fine, but I just think the week, we still have a month left of television to fill. I just don't know if it's gonna be that intriguing.
We'll see. Is that Trouble Song really her theme song now?
It is, and I looked up the lyrics because they played it on Raw. I was like, I'm just gonna maybe try to learn this song, and the
Oh,
lyrics on
really?
it are
You singing the song?
lyrics are kind of crazy. I mean, I think I can pull it up on my phone right now because I did watch Raw today. Oops, there you go, right there. Liv Morgan Trouble.
What are the lyrics to the song?
We'll do spoken word. Hold on, let me back it up a little bit. I feel like bad decisions, but you'll still want to bite. I feel like bad decisions, but you still want to bite. And then this is where it kind of kicks in. Trouble, trouble. That's me. Cherry lips and bad energy. Say it once, say it twice, and I'll give it to you all night. I'm your bad, bad, and your bad advice.
I'm
Say my
your
name.
bad.
Say my name like it's a secret. Say it low, then say it loud. Try to frame me as the problem, like I don't enjoy it now. You want sweet, you want careful, you want safe behind the eyes, but I flirt with every danger and I don't apologize.
All right.
Yep.
Outside the ring, open. I mean, I can't. Amazing Red and Conan are going to be inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame in 2026 in Bound for Glory.
Yeah, I mean, shout out Amazing Red and Conan. I mean, Amazing Red still got it. He was wrestling on the Slammiversary show. And, Conan, obviously, he's had his health issues a little bit. But
A
two
little bit. His
guys,
legs amputated.
yeah, well, it happens. But, I mean, shout out those guys, TNA. Respectfully, I don't know if like people are gonna like think of them as like TNA absolute Hall of Famers, maybe like like the Stings or Jeff Jarrett's or whoever else has kind of been in there. But it is nice to kind of get those guys, especially Amazing Red. I feel like Amazing Red doesn't really get that much
Amazing,
recognition. That much recognition.
Amazing Red. I mean, during that early period, it was like the equivalent of 1, 2, 3 Kid in those early days of Raw. Just the innovation and the things that he was doing. Yeah, man. I mean, congratulations to Amazing Red, the hell of a talent. Conan, obviously. Uh, big impact. So I'm excited for these guys and tap in with the TNA Hall of Fame. The TNA Hall of Fame, they do it very classy. They put like like two or three people in. They do some good stuff. I just got an email about this. TNA has released Eric Young. They've immediately come to the terms of Eric Young's release, and they wish him the best of luck in all his future endeavors.
Yeah, another release from TNA. I mean, Eric Young, veteran's been there forever. I don't know how much money he's making, but it's just another name. Seems like they are trying to cut costs and try to slim down the roster as
I
much as
can
possible.
I can read. I mean, it's basically. I was going to read the email, but it's basically what I said. TNA Wrestling has come to the terms of the release of Eric Young, effective immediately. EY has had a legendary TNA career, including twice as TNA World Champion. We wish him the best in his future endeavors. Yeah. Wow. So, no wondering why. Maybe we'll get there eventually, as to why he is no longer in TNA. But we'll have to wait and see. Darby Allin gets married, and then he did what he did at Forbidden Door. What a guy.
Yeah, shout out to Darby Allin. I mean, he's one of those guys that, at least I think, kind of keeps his personal life kind of private, and we don't know too much about him. So it was a little surprising I saw just opposed of him to like being a normal guy in a suit and a tuxedo. Um, but yeah, shout out Darby Allin. I did get a kick out of Alicia Atut. She posted a photo of them and MJF, who's her husband, took offense to her being at the wedding, which the image, the thought of like MJF not being at the wedding or like actually being at the wedding is pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean, it's still alive, brother. It's still real to him, damn it. Inside the ring, Avery Styles, the son of the phenomenal WWE Hall of Famer AJ Styles, makes his pro wrestling debut this past weekend. Dude, did you have you seen these clips, bro?
I have not seen clips. I did see that he wrestled. I didn't see anything though.
Hey, I mean, obviously he looks like his dad, but dude, like he did the slide under the barricade, the hop on in the forearm off the barricade. I'm like, oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. Congrats, dude. Big congrats to him. I didn't even know it. I mean, I didn't even know his son was old enough to like start training and everything, but that's
I mean,
awesome, man.
AJ's been in the business for what, 25 years now, even longer than that at this point. So,
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna send you I'm gonna send you this so you can see this stuff. But yeah, I mean, congratulations to him, man. Another kid following in their father's footsteps in the game.
I mean, if Avery's like half the wrestler that AJ Styles was, that we he's gonna be doing some things.
Here, I'm gonna send you this clip right here. Uh, there we go. Brandon Tanguma. There you are. Go watch that, man. Slip under the barricade.
Let's see what the young fellow's working with. He's got the green AJ tights on.
Yep. Watch him.
He even got the little hair going. Little
Watch
fun.
him. Oh yeah.
I mean, he's
Yeah.
definitely like doing an AJ Styles cosplay a little bit, but
I
I
mean,
mean, he's early on in his
it's his
career.
dad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's gonna lean on that a lot, and he probably will evolve eventually. But I mean,
I mean,
for it
he hit
being
a
his if it
Styles
for,
clash.
I mean, for it being his first match, I mean, that looked pretty solid. Even though, we'll see.
Hey man, shout out to brother, man. Can't wait to see what he does in his evolution in the game. Also, Uha Nation, the former Apollo Crews makes his TNA debut.
Yes, I mean, we speculated that Uha Nation will return. He made it back to TNA, I don't know if he's ever wrestled in TNA before, but
It was his debut.
yeah, so I mean, it makes sense. It seemed as though Apollo Crews never had like any bad issues with WWE or whoever. So, kind of jumping right back into it pretty quickly, going to TNA, makes sense. Also, not breaking news, but it seems as though the Enzo Big Bill move jump from AEW to WWE seems to be a real thing.
Are you serious?
I believe so.
Wow. Okay. What's gonna happen to fourth row, bro?
I don't know.
Enzo
We'll have to wait and see.
Enzo was that guy over there. Oh, I just how do they fit into today's? No, we'll see. We have to wait and see. We have to wait and see, man. I mean, it's it's crazy that they're like a nostalgia act now,
Yeah,
right?
the mid 2000, the mid 2010s are nostalgia acts now.
I mean, no, but like seriously, I mean, they had everybody. SAWFT soft. I mean, we're all doing it. Damn, that's because what? Yeah, 2015, 26. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. I mean, I can't wait to let's see. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. TNA has introduced a Knockouts Television Championship.
You guys know I love this. More titles, more little trinkets for everyone to
Yeah,
win.
'cause they have the world, they have the Knockouts, they have the tag, the Knockouts tag.
I mean, they did get rid of
Inter
the digital media championship, so I guess you got to replace it with something.
yeah, so then it goes back to six. Oh, the X Division. Okay, seven. Yeah, seven. There we go. Because yeah, TNA never really had that many titles. Do you remember the Legends title? That was the global title. That was the King of the Mountain title. That one title that they used over and over, and just kept changing the name.
Yeah, the Global Force was gonna buy TNA, but then it was a part of TNA, and then it wasn't, and it just
Yeah,
disappeared
then like you
because
were the Global Force champion, then it became the Impact title, then it was the TNA. Remember NWA TNA? Like there a lot of incarnations. A lot of incarnations. There were some dark years in TNA, but they're still here.
I don't want to say we're maybe approaching a dark year, but there's not a lot of good vibes, I feel like, especially with all these releases. But TNA always finds a way.
Yeah, no, they always I found a way. I found a way. If you open no.
Shout out Drake Bell. He's over in Mexico, and Mexico's having a great time right now with their World Cup win. And USA hopefully can follow suit today, and
Yeah.
Portugal can follow suit tomorrow, but I doubt it.
I saw Japan got eliminated.
Damn shame.
I know, terrible. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Monday Night Raw, the recap, the fallout of Night of Champions. So we ended with Roman Reigns out there. Obafemi has chose to do something else. We'll talk about that in a second. Seth Rollins comes out there. He says, "Hello, brother," and talks about you have something that belongs to me. Roman's like, "You're at the back of the line," and then Seth just started listing it all off. I beat you at 41 and I took your wise man 40. I sacrificed myself so Cody could end your reign of terror. WrestleMania, out here in the Bay, the heist of the century. I stole your moment. I've owned your ass ever since I put a steel chair in your back. So, and then he talks about how, there's a new generation coming along to do what we did to the old generation, the old guard, and this may be our last chance to truly do this one more time on a big stage. What's bigger than a 2-night stadium, 60,000 people at SummerSlam? So in Minneapolis, it will be the OTC Roman Reigns, the head of the table, the tribal chief, defending the World Heavyweight Championship against his former Shield brother and Seth freaking Rollins.
It's a match that they've been building and teasing, and they've done it before in the past. And I thought like they had something there, but then they kind of went away from it, and then
Bro,
now they're kind of like putting it back together, and it's
it's
almost like now they're like both baby faces, but Roman's doing this weird thing where he might be turning. I I don't know what to make
bro,
of this right now.
it's Shield lore. You're always gonna get me with the Shield lore. You're always gonna get me with the Shield lore. Um, yeah, man. I mean, Seth did make a great point. Like, over you reign of terror was 4 years. You beat everybody except me. You didn't beat me, which is true. Go back to Royal Rumble 2022. It was a disqualification finish. Um, yeah, man. I mean, this is like the one. I mean, they've done this in the past, sure, but this is the one. If like Roman said, we're gonna close the door on the Shield forever. Um, yeah.
So John Moxley goes on his retirement tour, and they get back together.
Good times, right? Yeah, man. I'm excited. I'm excited for this one because we know they're gonna give it to us. We know.
I mean, they were heavily teasing Roman and Oba and the crowd seemed to be very hot for that idea. And then now you take that away and you give them Seth and Roman. I,
Well, spoiler alert. Uh, Oba Femi was about to make a choice, then Brock Lesnar showed up, kicked him in the nads, F5'd him, and Oba still called him a bitch. So here we are, Minneapolis, Minnesota, SummerSlam, Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar 3, Hell in a Cell.
I mean, it's a match that we thought expected to happen, but they still went down the route of giving Oba the King of the Ring, and then he foregoes the championship match to then go after Brock Lesnar, which
For now. Like he
I mean,
didn't just
I hope they tell us that he will get a championship match later because if you're having someone just like give up a title match for Brock Lesnar, like I get it's Brock Lesnar, it's a big deal, but you should make these title matches feel and like winning the championship feel special, which is the whole reason of why I don't like all these titles is because it should be a big deal when you get one. And it should usually be like the world title, top level title. I mean, the crowd's gonna be hot for it. It's Hell in a Cell, so they're gonna pull out like a lot of trinkets. There's gonna be, you know, there's probably blood, and it's gonna be probably. I mean, maybe it's the shortest Hell in a Cell match of all time, but we'll see what they do with that. Yeah, it's an interesting decision to go with Brock or to go with Oba at the beginning to give him the King of the Ring, and then to still go in the direction we all expected with Brock. So you know, I'll save my criticism for later on in the month to see how everything shakes out.
Jimmy Uso defeated LA Knight, and then Jay Uso was getting on LA Knight. Solo shows up and spikes Jimmy.
I mean,
Solo out of the MFTs, by the way.
yeah, I mean, no more MFTs, or at least no more solo in the MFTs. So we'll,
Hey man, there's an Empire that needs some members if he's down. He's already wearing red.
you know, maybe, we'll see what happens on that front. But, the I almost call him Eli Drake, the LA Knight.
Yeah.
Well, because we were talking about it last week with NWA, LA Knight. He's kind of in this route. I now how everything's kind of shaken out after Night of Champions, King of the Ring. I wonder, like, is it just LA Knight and Solo against the Usos? I don't know how that would work, or is it just LA Knight against Jim or Jay? Like, I don't know what the story beat reason behind this is, because clearly it's like leading to something. But
We just have to wait and see. We just have to wait and see. Are we gonna do? I still think we're getting Jacob and Jay at SummerSlam, bro.
I feel like that's something they're gonna wait on. We're probably gonna get another Bloodline War Games match. Maybe that's where everything blows up. You lead to Jacob because cause I think ultimately this will lead to another Jacob Roman match. Maybe a WrestleMania, maybe at a different time, but I think it starts. He's got to pick them off one by one, starting off with Jay or start off with Jimmy, then Jay, maybe Solo if he's in there too, and then ultimately Roman Reigns.
But yeah, man, because I think this is a well. I mean, Jacob's already decimated LA Knight before. Yeah, I think that this will be a traditional bloodline. So we just have to wait and see on that. Judgment Day, they attack Io Sky. Um, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about it earlier. I wonder how they're gonna heat this feud up after Io just kind of beat Liv. No, with not without trouble, but she won. She beat her clean. There's really
Trouble,
no
trouble, 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 trouble. You remember
trouble.
EC3's?
Trouble. That's me.
You're
Cherry
no,
lips and bad and whatever energy.
no. Do you remember EC3's TNA theme? Trouble, 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 trouble,
Of course,
trouble,
it was a
trouble,
banger.
trouble, trouble. Oh, that was the predecessor for Liv Morgan's Trouble, because that's her.
I mean, maybe Io's gonna get some friends. Maybe Stephanie Fakir. Maybe I
Where
mean,
is Stephanie? Is she still hurt?
yeah, I think she had shoulder surgery or some sort of shoulder thing happen. Um, and we get a month of this because we're at July 1st right now, and first night of SummerSlam is August 1st, so exactly 4 weeks away.
All right, all right. Well, Raquel Rodriguez defeated Maxine Dupree. Is she the number one contender for the IC title now? Is that what I heard?
Possibly, I don't know.
Yeah,
But they did another backstage segment with Maxine and Chad
awesome.
Gable.
Yeah, no, yeah, but Chad Gable, she didn't really like accept the apology. She just said okay, went out there, lost, and then she's backstage with Austin Theory, Theory who lost to Joe Hendry, and the Vision is dead in the water. That's, I mean, Braun Breaker lost to Seth Rollins. It's donezo. Um, yeah, then Austin Theory suggested her maybe it's time for a change. What do you
Like,
think?
are they just gonna get rid of the Vision entirely, and then now it's just gonna kind of move on to be Austin Theory and Maxine, like,
Well, I
are
don't
gonna
know.
do their own thing?
The Vision has a tag title rematch next week.
I think the Vision is just let's just stop end the Vision. Logan Paul can go off and do his rehab. He can come
I
back in a
just
couple months.
like, Seth got hurt early on. Then Braun Breaker got hurt. Bronson Reed is hurt. Logan joined and he got hurt. And it was just like, yeah, I don't know, man. I just don't know. It's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. Lyra Valkyrie explains why she attacked Bailey.
I like this quite a bit. I thought it was a good
So
promo from Lyra.
hold on. When Bailey was tripping out in her mind, did they just cut that? And now did they just pick that up and just throw it on Lyra?
Well, in the promo, she talked about how Bailey, which they didn't like explicitly like show clips of Bailey doing the same thing to Lyra, which I think is probably them trying to hide what they did with Bailey, because like you said, they just kind of dropped the whole whatever they were doing schizo character. And but Lyra kind of was doing a callback on that of like, yeah, Bailey like was tripping out a bunch of times, but I do it one time and everyone freaks out. So she's probably gonna maybe not do like a split personality character, but she's definitely gonna be like a lot more unhinged and emo or whatever. Um, I mean, I think they need more heels on the women's side because you have the Judgment Day, Liv Morgan, Raquel, and Roxy, but kind of outside of that, they don't have I think a lot of credible heels to go up against some people so like EO. Like if let's say EO wins, I think EO challenging against Lyra could be good. And so I think you got to kind of start building up people like that to challenge EO if that's the direction to go in the fall.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. All right. We're gonna throw it to Brandon as he recaps AEW.
All right, we started off with a Will Ospreay backstage segment. They've been doing a lot of these at like as a first segment after a pay-per-view on Dynamite. Ospreay interacted with John Moxley. John Moxley gave him a Death Riders badge patch, kind of signifying that he's officially a member of the Death Riders. Ospreay didn't like say yes or no exactly. He just kind of took it and then walked off. So, don't really know what that means. If maybe Osprey kind of rejects being in the Death Riders, and maybe Moxley kind of takes offense to that. After everything they've been through and everything he taught him, he still doesn't want to join up with them. Maybe Moxley takes ill to that and it kind of turns on him. But I think Osprey is going to kind of stick with the Death Riders, even though maybe he won't be hand in hand with him and whatever they do. But presumably they will be a John Moxley Will Ospreay feud later in this year, whether it's as a face protege mentor type role or if Moxley just straight up turns on Ospreay. So we'll have to wait and see on that front. Then after Ospreay took the patch, he walked away. He ran into Kenny. Kenny didn't approve of the relationship between him and Moxley still. But Osprey just kind of, shot it back at him and said, kind of worry about what you got, what you got going on, yada, yada, yada. MJF shows up. He does his, smarmy MJF thing, hyping up the presumed match at Wembley Stadium. But as we will go through the show, that the actual match Will Ospreay will have is very much in question. And MJF did have a match on Dynamite this week. He went up against Mark Briscoe to defend the AEW World Title. It was a bloody match. MJF opened up Briscoe almost instantaneously at the very beginning of the match, like 3-4 minutes in. I reopened his cut from the match on Sunday, and MJF hits a heat seeker for the win. very good match as you'd expect. But I mean, the match wasn't really in doubt. Everyone kind of assumed MJF was going to win, and that's what kind of happened here. This was head to head straight up with the World Cup match for USA. So AEW definitely was trying to put all their eggs and try to go up against some stiff competition because the show started the exact same time. Both things started at 5 o'clock or 8 o'clock Eastern time. So AEW trying to go head to head. We'll see what happens in the ratings, but it was a really good match, and they kind of moved on to the next thing with Kenny Omega coming out to protect Briscoe because MJF was going to attack him after the bell, and Kenny challenged MJF to a title match. MJF said no, but he will challenge him next week at Beach Break if Kenny Omega loses that match, then he can never challenge for the AEW Championship ever again. And this was kind of a running story throughout the show of kind of Kenny Omega going back and forth and what his decision would be. And this culminated with the last segment on the show, which was Kenny coming out, cutting a promo talking about his life and career in pro wrestling. And technically, he's had a, fantastic career. He could hang it up and be very proud of what he did, but he also talked about how he's not exactly happy with what his first run was, his first title reign was, and he doesn't sit well with him, and he wants to go and win it. He wants to win it all by himself. This was more of like a backstage segment he had with the Young Bucks kind of talking about this, but they definitely were rallying the troops for Kenny Omega to have one last title win, and he said he will accept the stipulation and he will wrestle MJF at Beach Break in Florida next week for the AEW Championship. And I think Kenny Omega's gonna win. If not, I mean, I think he's gonna win, and I think it could be like via disqualification or something to where maybe they, um, stretch this out to Redemption in Montreal at the end of the month. Um, we've discussed and talked about that Kenny Omega and Ospreay could be a possibility. What's the better match? Is it the maybe technically better match of Ospreay and Kenny, or is telling the story of just the straight up babyface of Will Ospreay against the straight up heel in MJF in Wembley? Is that the match they're going to do? I mean, they're teasing both of them. Could it be a triple threat match? Possibly, but I think for something like this, if you want Ospreay to kind of be his culmination, I think it makes it much better for it to be one on one. And I don't have an issue with either one, to be honest. So whichever way they go, but now that you put this stipulation out there of never challenging the title again, it makes me think that Kenny will win, and they're going to go with Kenny versus Ospreay. I mean, possibly this is just MJF collecting, elite Infinity Stones, because they even said Cody's name on television. So they talked about Cody doing this, Hangman doing it. It didn't pan out for them. And now maybe this won't pan out for Kenny, and maybe Kenny doesn't have much longer to wrestle anyway, so it's not that big of a deal compared to Hangman, who's still in the prime of his career. But we'll have to wait and see next week to see what that happens. But I fully suspect either Kenny to win the championship next week or for something to happen for the actual real title match to take place on the pay-per-view later in the year or later in the month. We did get a Jay White promo. He returned at Forbidden Door to help out Christian and Cope. They did do a backstage segment with Cope and Cage, and Cage does not approve of Jay White because he doesn't like him, dating back to before. And Copeland, seemed kind of ambivalent or agnostic to Jay White, so they're gonna have to probably build some relationship there with Copeland, Cage, and Jay White. And Jay White came out. I thought kind of very good babyface promo going after against David Finlay. It was a little bit kind of too much like aren't we all having a good time type vibe, which you kind of get a lot with the Bang Bang Gang, which I would wish Jay White would either just leave or turn down. He leans into it a little bit too much for my liking. I wish it was just more the straightforward, no nonsense switchblade type character, but I mean, I think he kind of totes the line good enough to where it's not much of a turnoff, compared to maybe like with the MJF Adam Cole stuff all those years ago, which was a major turnoff for me. So it's just something to, take note of since he is back. Well, if he continues down that road, maybe it'll kind of hurt him in the long run. But David Finlay and Jay White is a perfectly fine first feud. It has a storyline behind it with the history of the Bullet Club guys. Maybe that leads into Gabe Kidd. Maybe that leads into Will Ospreay. He did name drop Will Ospreay, despite Jay White being a heel and Ospreay, or sorry, Jay White being a face and Ospreay both being a face. He did still kind of, bury Ospreay and, kind of talk bad about him. So maybe that's another match they're setting up for later on in the year of Jay White and Ospreay. And if that is the case, that would be an absolutely fantastic match. I'd love to see that. The longest match of the show was the Survival of the Fittest match to crown the new TBS champion. At the end of the day, Sheeta ends up getting the win. She got a little help from Persephone after Persephone attacked Chris Statlander with the TBS title to knock her out, and Sheeta submitted her, or not really submitted her, but just the ref called it off because she was unconscious. Weak finish. I mean, I know she's a heel, but I kind of wish maybe it was more of like a pinfall win than kind of just a DQ, or not DQ, but kind of that tap out type victory. But overall match was fine. I think it kind of lacked the crowd heat because there's had a lot of people had some, Persephone, who's not really a full regular person in AEW. They had some Stardom wrestlers, so the crowd wasn't really too into it. At the end of the day, it did come down to Statlander and Cheetah, which are two people that the crowd do know, kind of care about, but also they're not exactly the most over talent right now. So, kind of a tough spot for them to be in, but we'll see what happens with Sheeta. They're continuing Sheeta Statlander. Um, Maybe that's for the TBS title. Maybe Willow comes back and avenges Statlander and gets the title back. I don't know, but that was Dynamite. Really good show. I thought. Good wrestling, good storytelling, laying the groundwork not only for the next pay-per-view Redemption, but obviously the Wembley show All In coming up in about, 2 months now at this point, or less than 2 months now at this point. So, overall, really good show. I think AEW is in a great spot, and they are clicking right now, and it's fun to watch. So, if you haven't, definitely go check it out. And the special collision on Thursday because they're getting bumped for a boxing thing. So we're gonna get to Dynamite Wednesday, followed up by Collision on Thursday.
Well, God damn it, Brandon. Thank you for that recap. The fallout from Forbidden Door, the Death's Door, Forbidden Death's Door,
Yep, and
Death's Forbidden Door.
there you go. And the grind never stops because now we're on for Redemption.
Yes, we're on for Redemption, but this weekend we're on for Hella Independence. Ladies and gentlemen, Oasis Pro is putting on a show on the 4th of July. July, women lie in July. Come on now. It's a big one. Come pull up, man. Hella Independence. You can see things like the Mob versus the Strays in the main event for the Three Kings titles. Chima defends the Pacific Seas title against Gypsy Mac. Darkseid, the franchise players, and Psycho Bandits in I think they got like a three-way tag street fighter, a Psycho Party street fight. Yeah, you got Jules Rules going up against Bishop Dorian, and there's gonna be a Melanin summit between the Melanin Mafia and the Melanin Empire. How do you feel about that?
Stack show, the Melanin Empire. Yeah, they be doing the damn thing over there. Unfortunately, the Melanin Mafia. Sancho decided to go in a different direction. The boys. Oh, shout out Alpha Zoe. I believe he was at whatchamacallit. He was at Forbidden Door. He
Got
got
super kicked off the stage.
Yeah, he got beat up by the dogs.
Rough.
Yep.
Yeah. Also, SPS is going to address their actions against Big Toko, Juicy Finale. Yep, all that and more. You don't want to miss Hell Independence this weekend, Berkeley, California. Oasis Pro Dojo. It's an early one, man. 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. I hear there's going to be food.
Well, food.
I hear there's going to be food. And then Oasis has some shows coming up, man. There's Crash Out. There's We Active. There's Full Send. Dude, Crash Out's on your birthday. You're going to crash out on your birthday?
I will crash on my birthday. It's, the older you get, the more likely a crash out is to happen.
Come on now. Come on now. We will see you guys later, man. Have a happy 4th of July. Be safe. Stay dangerous. Yes, sir.